Sego sewa gwego.
The people
Hello,
gonna rise out the water.
Patricia
Gonna calm this crisis
Québécois
down.
Tano
The voice
Ipokpesh
of my great granddaughter
Tano
saying keep
Ganyangeha.
in the ground.
My name is Patricia. I am French Canadian and Mohawk by birth, and I'm adopted Cheyenne River Lakota. And I'm delighted to be here. And in the Mohawk tradition, any gathering of any import is begun with Ohondung Kariwatego, and that means the words that come before all else. And they are words of gratitude. So the core principle, the kind of center of our being, is rooted in gratitude. And so the fact that we're all gathered here today is a source of deep and profound gratitude. I almost started a song. We are the children of the ones who did not die. We are the children of the people who could fly. We are the children of the ones who persevered. We are fearless, we are strong, and we're ready to carry on. That's a song that I learned at the Highlander Center. I used to be on their board, and one of the staff people taught us that song. And it's powerful because it reminds us both that we have a legacy that we stand on. We have shoulders that we're standing on. And also that our commitment is to the generations who come after us. And so as you stand here in this semicircle, just close your eyes for a minute and imagine, even if your own individual lineage was a bit funky, it's okay, because we have a shared lineage of all those generations who worked to protect our Mother Earth, who worked to make life sacred. And we can claim them as our ancestors because when they prayed, they were thinking of us. And now as we pray, we think about the generations who are coming after us. So I spent the day yesterday on the train taking my two youngest grandkids, who are 9 and 11, to Sacramento. And we went to Old Sac, and then we went swimming at my friend's house. And when I look at them, it's tangible. It's tangible what I'm working for. It's for them and their children and their children's children. And so I invite you now, as we kind of gather and begin the more formal part of this gathering, and thanks to all the energy that got raised in these last minutes as people were singing and chanting. So I invite you to hold in your mind's eye the face of someone for whom you stand here today. So if you've got kids and grandkids, put their pictures in your mind. If you don't, just anyone in the future generations, because they can't live without Earth. They can't live without our Mother. And so what we do for them. And so I invite you to hold them in your heart and in your mind as we say, Agwego onska ondi dewa wenoni ne ngwanigora. Tanonte te nu werado ne ongwe son a. Etonio dunhak ne ngwanigora. We send love and gratitude to all of the people gathered here, the people in the building who are working, trying to communicate our passion and commitment.
We were cited with trespassing by federal officers, and we were given citations and released. So we were down in the basement for about an hour, I guess it was, and they were going to put us in the pen, but they said, you guys can just sit in a chair here. We don't need to give you zip ties. You all look so nice." And so we just got the citation, and now we're out.
And I wanted to say that while we were waiting down in the cellar, the 5 of us, I think because we set the tone in such a very grounded and loving way, that the response from the police was reciprocated. There was a respect and there was a real meeting there of just doing what we had to do non-violently and in cooperation. They returned that energy. So I want to thank you all, and I appreciate this so much for the earth. Thank you.
So they were on the charge, and they were doing their job. But when it took some time for us to be kind of for them to get their things together, including the zip ties and so on and so forth, and they, by watching us, could see that we intended no harm. We came in a way of peace to bring a message, and that's what we did. And we were willing to take that final stand and not back down or not step away. And we had the ability to do that. And then it changed. And so by the time we got to the processing room, they were open. They were receptive, and we told stories.
And told them to pass the word along to their families. And a couple of them said, we agree with you. We think you're doing the right thing. So that was encouraging.
To all those who face injustice without blinking, we thank you, we honor you. To all the beings who suffer because of the way the atmosphere and the climate, the soils and the waters have been treated, we honor you, we stand with you, we are here to protect you. To all of the Indigenous people who have had so much stolen from them, we honor you. We are here to stand with you. We are here to stand with all of life for a thriving future, a future beyond fossil fuels and fossil foolishness. We are here, and we are not leaving.
And to all of the people all over the world who are living with the consequences of the mess that we've made, we pray for healing for Earth and for us and for all of our non-human relatives, because we are an ecosystem. And so we tap into that subterranean place where we are all connected in deep, deep ways, that we can find ourselves in the midst of that connection so that we know that we are all related. And now our minds are one.
Let's give it up for Pat St. Onge.
Just want to give a shout out to for the 1,000 grandmothers for future generations. We put out a call in late April, working with the folks on the ground in Minnesota, and 27 of us went out there. Like with 10 days notice or something. It was just pretty remarkable, 27 of us. And I think it's a testimony to what grandparents are being called to do in this moment. Each generation has a function in movement building and in transformation. And our place is to be in support of the emergent leadership and the long-term leadership of the younger generations. And so, you know, one of my kids is the national director of the Movement for Black Lives. So they organized and went up. So every way that we're finding the weaving that's happening, it's intergenerational, it's geographic, it's gender, it's everything. The whole spectrum of identity is recognizing where each of us has a place. So I think, for example, the fact that on this issue, we hear over and over again, listen to indigenous voices, follow indigenous leadership. It's not because Indian people are cooler than the rest. It's because we didn't lose completely, we didn't lose the connection with our relatives. We didn't lose the connection with Mother Earth in the way that happened in Europe. Because in Europe, there are indigenous people. People are indigenous to Europe. And when they were there, they were profoundly connected to the earth, deeply connected to the earth. In Asia, in South America, Central America, North America, Africa, the connections have been severed to different degrees depending on the story. So once you set out and start colonizing, it's almost impossible to maintain your connection to Earth. Because the colonizing energy is energy that separates us from Earth, separates us from each other. And so what these movements are doing are calling us home. They're calling us home to the place of our own indigeneity. And in that place we will find connection. And we can't all go back to, you know, I'm not going back to Quebec anytime soon to live. So I have to be here honoring the Ohlone people and their leadership because that's whose land I live on. And so as we continue to gather and continue to do the work of protecting our mother, protecting all of our relatives, the spirit world is watching. And so there's a kind of cheer squad that's going on there where people are just so excited to see us here. They're so excited. So I'm going to sing it. It's short. The words mean awaken and stand up, for you are being recognized in the spirit world. So our ancestors are here, just so proud and so excited that we're here, and really pushing us to do more. Ame majada, yivwa bidaba, duve kana komeginuba. Ame majada, yivwa bidaba, duve kana komeginuba. If you can sing the last time. Ame majada,
Gibuwa bidaba, ginigu